Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Clean Eating with Claudia and HASfit. Today I'm going to show you guys how to prepare a cauliflower pizza crust. The wonderful thing about this pizza crust that we're going to prepare today is that of course it is super delicious, but it's also gluten-free, low carb, and low calorie, coming in at only 120 calories per slice. If you compare that to the national average pizza, that's about 250 calories, so we're slashing about half of that. Not to mention you're going to get all of the added health benefits that come with eating your veggies. Don't worry about writing down any of the ingredients that we're going to go over today, because of course once we're all done, you can click on the link located in the video description. We'll send you right on over to HASfit.com where we'll have everything laid out for you. So with that being said, let's get started, guys. Okay, so what you're going to need for the pizza crust is one medium head of cauliflower. The one medium head of cauliflower is going to make one medium pizza, which of course is 8 slices. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can chop up your cauliflower. You can do it by hand, which I've done before, but I will tell you guys that it is a little time consuming, but it's completely possible. Now, you're literally just going to take a cutting board and a knife, and you're going to chop up the cauliflower as fine as you possibly can. Now, what I will recommend to you all is that you do use a food processor, which I've used my Ninja food processor. This thing's wonderful, and it will definitely cut down the time that it takes to get your cauliflower into what they call the rice consistency. Now, we are going to go ahead and include a link in the recipe page, so if you're interested in grabbing a Ninja like mine, you guys can certainly do so by clicking on the link. Now, what we're going to have to do with the rice cauliflower is we're going to stick it in the microwave for about 10 to 12 minutes. This is really going to steam the cauliflower and get it out of the raw form, make it more pliable and more doughy, which is the consistency that we're going to need for our pizza crust. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this into the microwave, and I'll see you guys back here in just a second. Okay, so I just preheated my oven to 400 degrees. So while that's getting all heated up, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our steamed cauliflower rice here. Now I'm going to go ahead and start adding the ingredients into the crust as we need it. So the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and add to the crust is our 1 cup of light skimmed mozzarella cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and get this added in there. And get that going. And we also have 2 eggs beaten. Add that. We also have 1 tablespoon of oregano that we're adding. And then I'm going to add 2 to 3 cloves of minced garlic. I personally love garlic. You guys can add as much or as little of this garlic as you like. But remember, cauliflower is going to take on the flavor of whatever you put in there. So if you want this to be nice and flavorful, I'd say add a lot. And we're going to go ahead and get this mixed in. And the cauliflower is pretty hot and steamy, so it's going to melt the cheese pretty well. And it's just basically going to bind the crust together and hold it nice. So I already have here my pre-sprayed pizza baking sheet. And we're just going to transfer the dough onto the pizza sheet here. And I'm going to go ahead and get it flattened out to about the thickness of a thin crust pizza. And we're going to end up popping this in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes or until it gets about golden brown. And I'll show you guys what that looks like here in just a minute when it's all set. Alright guys, so I just took my pizza crust out of the oven, and what you really want to look for are the edges of the pizza crust. See how it begins to get a little brown over on the sides? That's perfect. You want to take it out. That's when you know it's good to go and it's going to support all the toppings that you're going to put on it. And of course, it'll continue to cook the rest of the way once we get everything on. So I'm going to go with veggie toppings today. Now you guys are more than welcome to put whatever toppings it is that you like on your pizza. So the first thing I'm going to start with is I have 1 cup of marinara sauce. If you guys want to use pizza sauce instead, that's perfectly fine, but I prefer marinara. So we're just going to go ahead and just kind of circle it around And of course, you want to have a wooden spoon or something readily available. That way you guys can just begin to spread out the toppings. Now this is also fun because you can, of course, get the whole family involved in this. The kids will have fun really just putting all the toppings on top. And of course it also gets them started on those good eating habits. So now that I have this on, move on to the cheese. So the cheese that I'm going to be using is the light mozzarella, which is the same that we put into the pizza crust. And I'm going to use about 3/4 of a cup to a cup. And we'll just get that going. And it looks delicious. All right. And now that I have all the cheese on, we'll go ahead and start putting the veggies. And I'm using onion, bell pepper, and mushroom, just because it's my personal favorite. And we'll just do a nice little layer of that. Move on to the bell pepper. And I love a lot of mushrooms, so you guys just play with it. Have fun. Once I get the mushrooms on, I'm going to go ahead and put the pizza back into the oven for about an additional 20 to 25 minutes, or until you begin to see your cheese bubble, or however it is that you like your pizza. And I'll see you guys back here in a minute. Alright, so I just pulled my pizza out of the oven and it looks absolutely delicious. I can't wait to cut into it. Now, as soon as I pulled it out of the oven, I just added a couple of leaves of fresh basil right on top, only because that's what I love. Now, if you guys like this recipe, make sure you check out HASfit's website for additional recipes, hundreds of free workouts, free meal plans to lose or gain weight, and complete fitness programs. Please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and like us on Facebook for the best daily motivation. Thank you all for joining me for another Clean Eating with Claudia and HASfit, and remember, eat clean and train dirty.